Looking at these numbers real quick, though, the comparison of Jerry, like, I only knew Jerry Rice's 1990, 92 numbers at the top of my head. Mm-hmm. Like, seeing them all, like, in front of me. Yeah. Like, Mike Evans' numbers are impressive, but my God, those Jerry Rice numbers are ridiculous.
Yeah. Ridiculous. Yeah. It's special.
Like, when you think era, when you think, like, like quarterbacks, how the game was different. Mike Evans are impressive as hell. Mm-hmm. Not taking that away from him to be able to do that consecutively, but looking at Jerry's numbers and those kind of numbers to do that consecutively, and 95 and lose 2,000 yards.
That's why he's the GOAT. Ashley,
he's definitely.
That's why he's the GOAT.
But can we talk about that though, Brandon? Like, cause could he not potentially be like the GOAT of football though?
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice has 36 NFL records. I know we have a graphic too with some of his like notable records right now. He has the record for most receptions. That's 1,500 receptions. Can we check and see who's second for receptions? Because he has to be leading that by a mile. Receiving yards 22,000. 1,000 yards receiving season. 208 total touchdowns. The next person is Emmitt Smith, I believe, and he has like 170.
Yeah.
And then he has the most yards of any player, obviously outside of, I believe, quarterbacks, for combined net yards.
Right.
Like, is he not one of the GOATs to ever play football?
I think it's, no, definitely one of the GOATs. But when we talk about the GOAT, I think it's hard.
Stop. What are we talking about? You know what I hate. Come on, you know what I'm about to say.
I was repeating what he said. He said, one of the GOATs of football. That's what he said. Of course you said.
What does GOAT mean, Ashley?
Okay. It's hard. I hear what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Corey. Mm-hmm. But I think it's hard. It depends. Like, that's the whole argument of what came first, the chicken or the egg kind of argument. And what I mean by that is some will argue, okay, but Jerry's numbers weren't possible without a quarterback throwing him the pass. So you have to look at what you weigh as more importance in terms of that argument. That's what I'm saying, the chicken or the egg. It's hard to negate what Tom Brady has done. Now, you can say, well, Tom Brady couldn't have accomplished this without Belichick or this person or Edelman or whoever. Factual. But when you look at his resume and the rings on his fingers, you automatically, when you think football, you think of the success of the quarterback and how that infiltrates everybody else. It's unfortunate because he's not the only piece that makes the puzzle work, but some will say, a lot will say he's the most important piece. So he gets the criticism, but he also gets the accolades. So when you're talking GOAT, that's why usually people will automatically talk about a quarterback.
Yeah, and Tom Brady. But if we really took our time and dissected football and looked at pound for pound, play for play, then Tom Brady might not even be top 10.
Whoa.
Jerry Rice could be up there. Yeah, but there's guys like Reggie Wayne. You talk about GOATs, greatest of all time. J.J. Watt had a crazy era. I'm not, before I go into this any farther, I'm not saying J.J. Watt is a GOAT. But when J.J. Watt, there was like 4 years, maybe 5 years, when he went on this crazy run where he literally wiped out the whole offensive line and you couldn't do shit. Like, there's guys like that did it at a high level that we don't talk about because of what you said. Mm-hmm. They don't have the rings. They didn't have the attention. They weren't marketable.
They didn't play the right position.
Correct. Like Reggie Wayne is one of those guys that can easily be in the conversation when we talk about the GOAT. But our generation, this era, like we're never. When is the last time you ever heard somebody say Reggie Wayne?
Long time.
Yeah, it's not.
Right. Think about Aaron Donald for 10 years. Consecutively, and consistent at a high level. You talk about quarterback drop back, boom, get hit, smacked. Like, that's how good he was. Yeah. Running back takes off, boom, he's 2-yard loss. Yep. Right? So, yes, I have Tom Brady as my GOAT, but because I'm lazy.
Because it's the easy answer, right?
Yeah, I want to be honest. Because I think it's easy for us to say Tom Brady is the GOAT, 7 rings, and what he's done and how he's brought others along. It's very special.
I just think it's also very hard to make a counter argument. It's comparing apples and oranges. Like, if I say Tom Brady's the GOAT, right, and you say LT's the GOAT, right? How do we even argue that? They're two totally different positions. Yeah. They had two totally different responsibilities. Yeah. They played they had two totally different playbooks. Like, it's hard to, that's why in football it's so hard to label the GOAT, which is why people normally just stick to quarterback, because basketball, you can do that. Because basketball, everyone has somewhat of the same responsibilities. The stats all align. It's easier to make that argument. So if I say it's Jordan, you can make an argument of why it's LeBron, and it's easier to go ahead and have that argument. You can see it from both perspectives. How the hell do I argue LT versus Tom Brady?
Well, piggybacking off of that, Ashley,
where's the equal factor?
I will say this. I think not only myself, but a lot of us in this space have been lazy when it comes to the GOAT conversation regarding football, all right, at the highest level. I think the GOAT resides on the defensive side, and here's why. On the offensive side, you need the offensive coordinator, and you need everybody working together to get the job done, whether it's to get the first down, score a touchdown, complete and the 2-minute drive, whatever it is. Like, you need all of that working together. That's why Tom Brady is special, because he did that at a high level for a very long time. But Tom Brady, right, going out there, if his receiver slips at the top of the route, drops a ball, he doesn't get the job done. On the defensive side, you take a guy like a LT, you take a guy like a Reggie Wayne, even an Aaron Donald, and you put them out there. The defensive coordinator can call a bad play. Everybody can fall on the route, and he can run through 2-3 people, get a sack or get a tackle for loss, and the defense wins. Mm-hmm. So I think if we're really being intentional and spend time breaking down each position, we will find that the defensive side is where the GOAT is. And I think it starts with those three guys that we just mentioned, and you brought up LT, Reggie Wayne, and Aaron Donald.
I actually believe that football may be the only sport, and I know Brandon's gonna hate this, but I think, like, when we talk baseball, you can't really do it. When you talk basketball, you can't do it. When you talk hockey, you can't do it. I think football, because of how complex it is and how different the positions are and the responsibilities are, I feel like football may be the only sport where you can have multiple GOATs, because because everybody has a different responsibility. And like I'm saying, like, I can't argue Jerry Rice versus Tom Brady. They don't do the same thing.
Well, can we do this?
You can have a GOAT wide receiver.
No, I disagree with you.
I think NFL is the only sport you can do that in.
I agree with you. If you say GOAT at this position, or GOAT of defense, GOAT of offense, then we can have that conversation. But you say who's the GOAT of the NFL, you got to pick one. Because it's black and white for me. It's who's the greatest of all time. You got to be able to pick one. So let's stop being lazy and let's do the work and let's pick who's the GOAT of the NFL. But I agree with you. You can have.
Mine's Brady, but I mean.
Are you being lazy, or you really believe Tom Brady is the GOAT?
It's Tom Brady for me.
Okay.
But I can't be mad if somebody says LT.
Right.
I just can't. It'd be hard for me to make my case on why it's Brady against a non-quarterback. Mm-hmm. It's now, if you say Brady versus Montana, I can make that argument all day. Right, but I can't argue LT versus Brady. How the hell? Where's the foundation of that argument?
But that's where I'm saying where we're being lazy is because, LT can disrupt everything the offense is doing just like that. Like, how many times, like, if LT and Tom Brady went head to head, all right, who has the advantage, right? LT just needs himself. He's shown that he can run through 2-3 people, any type of schemes, and still get to the quarterback or shut down the run game. Now, Tom Brady, he's shown that he's able to overcome everything. That's why he's been able to win 7 Super Bowls. But if the receiver slips, or Billy O'Brien, or Josh McDaniels mess it up, then he's in a tough position. Yeah. So I think there is an argument there. Like, you've seen it in the past. Tom Brady go against legendary defensive line. Michael Strahan and the Giants. They stole 2 Super Bowls from the Patriots, right?
They did.
Why? Because you had Michael Strahan and O.C. Umayor on the other side, and you had big
and Michael Strahan was a beast.
They had a crazy defensive line, being able to disrupt everything they're doing. I don't care what receivers you have. Randy Moss doesn't matter. Julian Edelman doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This defensive line is going to get to you before you can do anything else. Doesn't matter. You can have the best game plan. Spygate. Y'all have all of our calls. Y'all know what the hell we doing. But my defensive line can get through there. So now I'm being more specific. Maybe this conversation is helping me get to the point. Not only does the defensive side have the GOAT, the GOAT resides on the defensive side, it's a defensive line. The defensive line is the most important position, Ashley, on the entire field.
Yeah, you might got something there.
All right, we can move on.
It's the truth.
We got what?
Ashley, anything to add before we move on?
No, I mean we can go around in circles about it's
Yeah.
like I said, chicken or the egg.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you're right.